Any questions, doubts? No questions? Are we good? Right, okay. So in the last class, we discussed about versions of the SQL Server, right? So in the last class, we discussed about the versions of the SQL Server, versions of the Windows Server. Okay, right. So can anyone tell me what and all SQL Server versions are there? Or else you can type your answer. Actually, there should be a feature, guys. In the last Zoom meeting, we have one feature called poll. So not sure. I just renewed the Zoom again, so it is not showing poll feature. So in that poll, we can just post the questions and you can mark the answers, but it is not showing. The poll feature is not there. So let's go with manual. Just tell me, guys, what and all SQL Server versions are there? Yesterday we discussed right SQL Server versions. Yesterday we discussed Windows Server versions. We discussed about the table. What is table? What is row? What is column? What is field? What is field, guys? What is field? What is meant by field? Can you help me?
Vertical component of table.
Yes, a vertical entity is called a field or column. What is meant by record?
It has
Rows,
complete information.
horizontal rows
Yeah,
entity.
a horizontal entity. A horizontal entity is called record or row. A vertical entity is called a column or field, right? And what is meant by table?
Collection of rows and column.
Yeah, collection of rows and columns or collection of related data entries. Okay, so you can call this as a table, guys. So, who is the father of RDBMS? Who is the father of RDBMS, guys?
EF code.
EF code.
Yeah, Professor EF Card. Okay, so Professor EF Card is the father of RDBMS. So he introduced that relational database management system. Before that RDBMS, we have DBMS database management system. So EF Card introduced that RDBMS, guys. Right, these things and all we discussed yesterday. And what else we discussed, guys? What is meant by SQL? SQL.
Structured query language.
So what is that?
It is used to interact with the database.
What is that? What is meant by SQL, guys? How we
It
are
is used to communicate with database.
right? Very good. It's a language. It's a language
Which
which will be
perform
used to communicate with the
database.
database. SQL means structured query language. Using this language, we can communicate with the database. So Microsoft is using what SQL language, guys? So in SQL, we have different flavors, right? Can anyone tell me? Yeah.
TSQL.
TSQL. Okay, Microsoft is using TSQL, Transact SQL. Oracle is using
PLSQL.
PLSQL. Okay, Oracle is using PLSQL. Microsoft is using T-SQL. Again, we have Jet SQL is there. So like that, we have different SQL flavors are there, right? So SQL is a language which will be used to communicate with the databases. Okay, if you are using SQL Server, generally we'll use T-SQL language. Okay, and again in SQL Server we have like developer and we have DBA. So in case if you are interested, you can like you have to learn T-SQL completely. That comes under different part. That comes under development part. If you are interested in the maintenance and all, you have to learn SQL DBA completely. So that comes under maintenance part, guys. So and we have also discussed the versions of the SQL Server, guys. So can anyone tell me some few versions of SQL Server? What and all versions are there?
97,
Okay.
97, 2000, 2005, 2008, 2008 R2,
Mm.
2012, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019, then 2022.
Very good. Okay. Right. Okay, guys. So what we can do now, there is a box called chart in the Zoom. So open that and choose direct to me. Okay. Choose direct to me. Don't choose to everyone. Choose direct to Shanmukh. Okay. And just type the versions of SQL Server. I just want to know how many of you remember the versions of SQL Server. It's not like a one-man show, so only one person is answering. So just type your answers, guys, in the chat. Send the messages direct to me. Just giving you a minute. Just try to type the answers. What and all SQL Server versions are there? Why? Because versions are very important. You should know the versions of all the versions of SQL Server, guys. So just click on the chat box. Click on that two. Okay, so you can see like group meeting chat is there, right? Just click on that. You can see to Shanmugh. Just send me a direct message. I'll just check how many of you remember these versions, guys. I just received message from Shiva and then Vibhuti, good. Niharika, fine. Yeah. Yes, guys. And I'll just give a minute. Try to complete it. So we have to proceed for others. Right. Okay, okay, fine, fine. Yeah, good guys. Okay, fine. So very good. Yes, Mohammed, good. Mohammed, Amarendra, Ranjana, Anita, Venkat Sai, Pooja, Geeta. Geeta, why only 2016? You're typing other answers. Digvish, okay. Geeta, oh, okay, fine. We missed 2016. Okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, Ranjana, okay, fine. Right, guys, very good. So, up to which version SQL Server is platform dependent? Up to which version SQL Server is platform
2017.
dependent?
2017.
2017, SQL Server 2017. SQL Server is a platform dependent. That means you can install only on the Windows operating systems. So, how many types of Windows operating systems are there?
Two types.
Are
Two
you
types.
sure? Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Very good. Yes, two types of Windows operating systems are there. Desktop operating systems and server operating systems. So desktop operating systems, we have Windows Vista, Windows Home, Windows Premium, Windows 7, 8, 8.1, Windows 10, Windows 11 is there. In the server operating systems, we have already discussed some versions, right? Windows Server 2000, Windows Server 2003, Windows Server 2008, Windows Server 2008 R2, Windows Server 2012, 12 R2, Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2019, and Windows Server 2022. These are the Windows Server versions, guys. Okay, right, fine. So first, what we'll do now, okay, let's discuss about the bill numbers, guys. Before that, we'll do one thing, okay, then we'll go for the bill numbers. So yesterday we discussed about the SQL Server versions, right? These are the versions of SQL Server. You can see here, and let's discuss about these bill numbers later. Okay, so after this concept, we'll discuss about the bill numbers, and these are all the Windows Server versions, guys. So yesterday we discussed one point like compatibility. So on as we discussed, we cannot install all the versions of SQL servers on all the versions of Windows servers. Okay, we have already discussed this point yesterday. We cannot install all the versions of SQL servers on all the versions of Windows server. Why? Why? Because due to compatibility issue. Due to compatibility issue, you cannot install all the versions of SQL servers on all the versions of Windows server. Then how to identify on which version of Windows Server I can install which version of SQL Server, right? If someone comes to you, hey, Mohammed, can you please install the SQL Server 2017 on Windows Server 2008 R2? So if anyone is asking like that, how you should respond? Can we install SQL Server 2017 on Windows Server 2008 8 or 8 R2? Is that possible? Right? So we'll discuss these things, guys. So on which versions, on which Windows Server versions, we can install SQL Server versions, guys. Okay. For this, we have a shortcut, guys. Okay. So generally, each SQL Server version will support, okay, will support up to 15 years, guys. 15 years. I'll tell you what is this 15 years. Okay. On an average, 15 to 16 years. In this 15 to 16 years range, whatever Windows Server versions are there, okay, you can install those SQL servers on that respective Windows Server version. So let me give you an example. Okay, so we have a -7 in this 15 years means it was divided into -7 to +7 years. Okay, -7 to +7 years. Again, it's not a thumb rule or Microsoft is, it's not mentioned by Microsoft and all anywhere, but it's just with the experience I'm saying. Okay, so -7 to +7. What is this? Let's discuss with an example, right? So if I want to install SQL Server 2005, okay, imagine I want to install SQL Server 2005. So now you want to know on what and all Windows Server versions you can install 2005, guys. You want to install SQL Server 2005. So now you want to know on what and all Windows Server versions you can install SQL Server 2005. Okay, right. So for this, as discussed, just replace this formula -7 +7 to this 2005 version. Okay, that means 2005 is year, right? In the year of 2005, this version was released, right? So generally, any SQL server will support up to 7 years forward and 7 years backward, guys. Okay, up to 7 years forward and 7 years backward. So if you calculate -7 years to +7 years, generally it will be 15 years. Okay, so now let's calculate like this: -7 years to 2005. What is 2005 -7, guys? 2005 -7, 1990.
98.
2, 2005 plus 7,
2012.
2012. Okay. In this range, what and all Windows Server operating systems are there, guys? In this range, what and all Windows Server operating systems we have?
2000 to 2012.
Right. So in all these Windows Server versions, you are able to install SQL Server 2005, guys. This is the shortcut. Every SQL server will support -7 years to +7 years. Every SQL server version will support, guys, up to -7 years and up to +7 years. Right. So
What is about R2, sir? 2012 R2?
12 R2 also supports, but again, these versions will be, for sure, these versions will be supported. You can install. Other versions like 2012 12 R2 will have like extra advanced features, right? So it might not support. There is a chance there are different installations. We have like a normal installation, GUI installation, command prompt installation, sysprep installation, slipstream installation. So what you have to do in case if you want to support with the 2012 R2, you have to use one method called slipstream installation. So in the slipstream installation, we use it to install SQL Server with the latest service pack. So in that case, it will support. Okay. So, but again, Windows Server 2012 R2 It might support. I am not saying other versions, but it don't support. 2005 you cannot install on 2016. Why? Because the gap is 11 years. So there is no way it will support so that you can install SQL Server 2005 and 2016. That is not at all possible. You are getting gap 2005 and 2016. How many years? 11 years. As we discussed, up to 7 to 8 years maximum it will support. Okay. So 11 years we are getting the gap. So because of that, we cannot install SQL Server 2005 on 2016 or 2019 or 2020-22. For sure you cannot install, guys. So this is how you have to calculate the compatibility. Any SQL Server versions, you have to calculate -7 years to +7 years so that easily you can remember this. No need to remember 2005 on what Windows Server we can install, 2008 on what Windows servers we can install. Just remember this -7 to +7. If anyone is asking, hey, can you please tell me on what and all Windows Server versions I can install SQL Server 2012? Okay, so he's asking, customer is asking about SQL Server 2012, right? So SQL Server 2012, as we discussed, -7 to +7, -7 to +7. So 2012 -7, how much? 2005, and 2012 +7, how much? 2019. So 2005 to 2019, whatever Windows Server versions are there, you can install your SQL Server 2012 on all the Windows servers, guys, on all these Windows servers. Guys, any questions here, please? Any questions?
No, sir.
Is this clear?
So we do not need to check Microsoft website.
You can check it, see, for sure. See, if anyone is coming and asking, for that, say, can we install? Yesterday you asked, sir, can I install 2019 SQL Server 2019 and Windows Server 2019, right? Right? Yesterday you asked it, right? Can we install SQL Server 2019 and Windows Server 2019? For that, okay, you cannot tell to the customer, hey, wait, I'll check in the Google or I'll check in the Microsoft website, right? For sure you can do that. If customer is asking 10-15 years gap between the SQL Server version and Windows Server version, it's good to cross check in the Microsoft website, no problem. But at least you should get an idea, right? Whether we can install or we cannot install. Initially you should get an idea, right? So for that purpose, okay, I'm not saying blindly follow this rule, but at least for your understanding, whether we can do that, whether we can install it or we cannot install it, at least for your understanding, you have to use this formula. It's good to cross check in the website again, in the Microsoft website again, it's not an issue. But in case if customer is asking small things, you cannot say, hey, let me check in the Microsoft website, I too don't know. You cannot say like that, right? For sure, SQL Server 2019, you can install it on Windows Server 2019. 2019, you can install it on Windows Server 2022. Why? Because the gap is 3 years only.
Yes.
Okay, so immediately for this, again, you have to check it on the Google or in the Microsoft website. If customer is asking, hey, can we install SQL Server 2019 in Windows Server 2022? So you cannot say, let me check in the website. So immediately you can calculate and tell me, yes, we can install. There is a 3 years gap between the SQL Server and Windows Server. Yes, we can install, no issues. If it is more than 7 years, Google it. If it is more than 7 years, cross check with Microsoft website. But if it is less than 7 years, definitely for sure you can tell to him, yes, we can do that. Okay. Guys, any questions here, please? Any questions?
Question.
Yes, please.
What about Linux environment and which how do we install it?
Linux, see, we are not going to cover Linux, Praveen. Okay. Yeah, we are not going to cover anything on the Linux. We are not going to touch Linux as well. I mean, like Linux will come under a different part, and no one is using Linux. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And what kind of versions and all. Even I too don't know. I too don't know about the Linux. Seriously.
Okay.
People were using on Linux. He
Sorry.
faced a lots of problems.
Yes.
He changed
See, Linux
operating
is,
system to Windows Server 2019.
correct. Linux is still having like lot of issues, guys. That's why it was not yet famous, even though it was released 4 years back. Lot of issues are there with Linux. Lot of what I can say, These kind of like all features are not at all not working properly. So a lot of challenges are there with the Linux. Okay. So most of the features having issues and all with the Linux. But still, I can say it's in still testing phase only. Just for the competition, they released on Linux, but it's not 100% solution. Okay, like other database solutions. So Oracle, it was compatible with the Linux, guys. Perfectly, it was compatible with the Linux, but not SQL Server is not yet. Maybe in future they might do some other modifications and all. Okay, so as of now, Linux, no need to worry about it. Okay, for SQL Server. If you are exclusively using Linux in your organization, then just learn Linux first. Then based on that, you can learn the things. But concepts are same, guys. The way that you are handling is going to be different. Okay. So in Windows, we'll
Okay.
handle backups, OS level backups in a different way. In Linux, we'll handle OS level backups in a different way. Using commands and all will handle. Yes.
Okay. Actually, I just asking because in one organization I have seen that they have installed, they have started working in MS SQL Server, but the system is in Linux. So I was just wondering how they
Yeah,
are
yeah,
using that architecture.
Correct, correct, correct. So from 2019 onwards, you can do that. Okay, from 2019 onwards, you can install SQL Server on Linux also. But again, okay, so having lot of issues with Linux as of now. Okay.
Be possible that if there is a Windows server and SQL Server is installed over there, but for the connectivity we can use the client for that. Is it possible?
You're asking like we can install SQL Server on Linux and from Windows Server you want to connect?
The users, Linux user can connect through some Linux
See,
interface.
I'm not exactly sure about Linux features and all. I cannot comment now. I'll check and update you on
Okay.
this. Okay, whether they can do it or not. Okay. Mostly, I hope they can do it. Yes, SMS is a tool.
You can also
Yeah.
use the GUI in Linux server now.
That's what. Okay. Mostly they can do it. Like if you are using SSMS tool, they can do it. Whether the server is in Linux or Windows, SSMS will support. Okay. Mostly they can do it, but I can. Okay. I'll check and I'll update you on this Linux part. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, brother. Guys, any other questions on this compatibility?
Like,
Yes.
and we have a like based DBA kind of things, administrative things on the MS SQL Server. The same thing happened on the Oracle level also, like
Uh,
window based.
Sorry, I'm not getting your question. Like your mic is too far, I guess. Your voice is low. Can you tell me?
Yeah, I'm saying we have like a window administrator like here on the MS SQL Server. Same like we don't we have a window administrator on the Oracle because as we know like Oracle is based on the Linux layer.
Oh, not sure. Your voice is breaking. I'm sorry for that. So, are you saying something or you're asking a question? Your voice is breaking in between. That's what. Okay, just type your question. Okay, in case you have any question, just type your question in the chat. Okay, I'll check it.
I think he is asking about the Windows operating system is common for both Oracle and SQL Server.
Windows is common for both. SQL
Oracle
Server.
and SQL Server. Yeah.
Okay, okay, fine. Window based. Okay, Oracle window based. You are saying, right, Digvesh? Okay, fine. Yeah, that's fine. So is this clear, guys, about compatibility? If it is clear, let me ask you one question here. So on what and all Windows Server versions you can install SQL?
Shanmugh,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
I
please.
think his question was like how we are managing SQL Server with SSMS. Do you have any kind of utility for Oracle database? So that was his question. There is no such utility for Oracle
Okay.
database to
Oh,
manage
okay.
like
Got you.
SSMS.
Got you. I got your question. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for his question, there is no such kind of utility
Yes.
to manage Oracle database.
So you're asking about a tool, right? A tool which we can manage Oracle databases. Like we have SSMS tool to manage SQL Server databases. And in the same way, like you're asking any tool is there to manage Oracle databases. As I don't know about Oracle. Okay, so he's saying like our friend is saying like we don't have such
Sir,
tool.
only
Okay.
in Oracle SQL developer is there only to write
Yeah,
and write the
SQL,
data and SQL.
SQL developer is like kind of development to administrate the database.
Yes.
no, it's like other DB also, na? in SQL developer
That's what,
tools.
that is what. Anyway, it is out of our syllabus, but just for your curiosity, I'm just explaining. SQL developer is a tool to your database, not to administrate
Yeah,
database.
very few people use like as a
See, you can query it, you can write some, you can create tables, you can manage. But however, to backup or to tune your database or to troubleshoot your database, you cannot use this developer, right?
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, fine, guys. Okay.
You can use
So,
only SQL star to, or you can use the OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager.
right. Thank you, Venkat. Thank you. So, yeah. So, can you tell me, guys, on what and all Windows Server versions I can install SQL Server 2008? Just calculate. We used it just for small formula, right? So, based on that, on what and all Windows Server versions I can install SQL Server 2008. Just calculate and tell me. I'll give 1 minute time, guys. Just calculate on what and all Windows Server versions I can install SQL Server 2008.
2003 to
You can type your
2012
answers in the
R2.
chat, please. Type your answers in the chat, please. Tell me all the Windows Server versions that will help us to install SQL Server 2008. Type your answers in the chat, guys, so that I can see like how many of you understood this concept correctly. So type your answers in the chat quickly. So we have 1 minute time, guys. I got only 5 responses till now, guys. 6. We have 21 people in the group. So try to respond quickly, guys, so that we can continue. Right, okay. So got 13 responses till now. That's fine. So let's discuss, guys. So SQL Server 2008, right? -7 to +7, and SQL Server 2008 -7, which will be 2001 to +7, which will be 2015. So in this range, whatever Windows Server versions are there with us. So 2001 to 2015, we have Windows Server 2003 to 2012 R2. Okay. Right. So on all these Windows Server versions, you can install SQL Server 2008, guys. Can we install it on 2016 or not? Like 2008 to 2016, we are getting 8 years gap. There is a chance that we can install. I'm not saying we cannot install. There might be a chance. Why? Because 7-8 years gap, right? So not an issue. If it is more than 9 years, 10 years, 11 years and all, you cannot. But 7 years, okay, no problem. You can do that. Okay. But on all these Windows Server versions, for sure, you can install SQL Server versions, guys. Okay. SQL Server 2008 and all. So let me check the answers. Then Praveen. Okay, so Amrendra said 2003 to 2012 R2. Okay, fine. Niharika 2003, 88 R12 R2. Good. Charan 88R2, 12R2, okay, done. 2003 to 2012R2, good. Niharika, okay, fine. Vibhuti, okay, fine. Venkat, okay, fine. And Shiva, 2003 to 2012, fine. Pooja, 2003 to 2012. And Anup Tiwari, okay, fine. 12R2. And Mohammed 12R2. And Sanwar 12R2. 2008 to 12R2. Dhananjay Patil 12R2. Yes, good guys, okay. All are correct, fine. So this is how generally we can install SQL servers. This is called your compatibility, guys. Okay, this is called your compatibility of the SQL servers and all. Right. So let's discuss about the bill numbers. What is this bill numbers, guys? Bill numbers. Okay. So bill number generally will help us. It will help us to identify the version of the SQL server. Okay. Okay, bill number will help us to identify the version of the SQL server, guys. Okay, so first of all, let me show you where we can see Management Studio, how we can see SQL server. First of all, let me show you, guys. Forget about all these things. What is SSMS, how to open Management Studio, everything I'll show you later. So once we configured Windows Server, once we installed SQL Server, everything will be discussed. As of now, I'm just opening one SQL Server just to show you how it will be. Okay, just to show you how a SQL Server interface will be. Okay, so nothing to worry about this, guys. How I opened, what I'm doing currently, nothing to worry about. All these things will be discussed. Okay. So I just installed SQL Server in my local laptop. Okay, currently it is in stopped state. I'm starting this instance. Okay, in our practice, we'll create VM and then I'll show you guys. So we'll create VM, we'll install Windows Server operating system, and then we are going to proceed with the SQL Server 2019 installation first. Okay, so let me show you how the SQL Server environment will be. Okay, so that we'll get an idea, basic idea. Right, it's started. Okay, so let it be. Let me open Management Studio. It is taking time to open SSMS. So videos I have already uploaded, guys. The batch, yeah. Right. So this is my Management Studio tool, guys. Using this tool, I can connect to SQL servers. Okay. So just click on connect. Forget about all these things. Again, we'll explain one by one. Every component will be discussed, guys. Nothing to worry. So I'm just connecting to the existing SQL server. So once I'm able to connect, you can see here. Okay. You can see here. This is the server name, desktop-bas28lm. This is the server name. And there you can see, actually you can see in the server name, you can see three parts. First part is server name. First part is server name. This is the server name. Second part is your bill number, the SQL server. And third part is connection. Who connected to this SQL server? Login name. Okay, so your instance name contains three parts. First part is your instance name. Second part is your bill number. Third part is connection. Who connected to the SQL server? Okay. So if you see here, concentrated on the second part, guys. So check the second part, which is called bill number. How many numbers are there in this? How many parts are there? How many parts are there, guys? 4 parts. Okay. Major version, minor version, actual bill number, third part. Fourth part is called revision history. Major version, minor version, actual bill number, and revision history. So bill number contains 4 parts, guys. 4 parts. Bill number contains 4 parts. First part is called major version dot. Second part is called minor version dot. Third part is called actual bill number dot. And fourth part is called your revision history. Revision history. So by using this number, actually major version, minor version, both are enough, guys, for us. Major version dot minor version is enough for us to identify the SQL Server version, especially major version is enough. Okay, you can easily identify the SQL Server version. So now by just looking at this instance, can anyone tell me which version of SQL Server it is? Can you tell me?
2019.
By just looking the instance name, can we identify the version of SQL Server, guys?
Yes.
15th version.
15th version, right?
2019 it is.
Yes. Do we have 15th version in SQL Server? What and all versions are there in SQL Server? It
No,
should
there is
be
no
either
2000.
2005, 2008, 8R2, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 22. There is no 15, right? So how to identify? By just looking at the instance name, especially by just looking at the bill number, how to identify the version of SQL Server that is called your bill number. Your bill number will help us to identify the version of the SQL Server. Now, if you see, okay, if you see here, when you install SQL Server 2000 in your machine, so the bill number starts with 8.0. Here, you can see 8.0. If you install SQL Server 2005 in your machine, the bill number starts with 9.0. If you install SQL Server 2008, 10.0, 8R2, 10.50, 12, 11.0, 14, 12.0, 16, 13.0, and 17, 14.0, and 19, 15.0. 2022, if you install, the bill number starts with 16.0. So if you can see 15.0 here means which version it belongs to?
2019.
Right? You can clearly, okay, identify the version of the SQL Server using the bill number, guys. Okay, using the bill number, you can clearly identify the version of the SQL Server. So first major version is enough to identify the version. Like we will have 8.0, 9.0, 10.0, 11, 10.50, 11.0, 12.0, 13.0, 14.0, 15.0, 16.0. So these are almost, these numbers are in serial order only, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only for 8R2, we have extra added 228 R2 10.50. Remaining all are second part is zeros only. If you identify remaining all versions, the second part is zeros only. Only first part you can see. Okay. So bill number, this is called your bill number, guys. This will help us to identify the version of the SQL Server. Immediately, you cannot see the SQL Server versions in the name of the instance. You cannot see the SQL Server versions in the name of the instance. What you can do, even if you go to properties also, you cannot see directly which version it belongs to. Then by just looking at the instance, how to identify, you should be able to identify, guys. Why? Because some features, they don't work in the older versions. So if someone comes to you and he gave one server name, hey, can you please configure always on 8.0 server or 9.0 server? Okay, so we cannot configure. We cannot configure always on 8.0, 9.0. Why? Because it was introduced from SQL Server 2012, which is 11.0 onwards. I can configure always on, guys. Always on is a feature. Forget about it. I'll explain about always on. But like these kind of features will be there. So these features, if you don't know the bill numbers, if you can't identify the version of the SQL Server, it will be difficult to understand what kind of features will work. At least major features. Forget about small minor features. At least major features, you should be able to identify whether this always on will work or not on this version, right? So where we can check the version of the SQL Server. So the immediate solution is, the quick solution is your bill number, guys. You can also check the version using a query. How to write a query, guys? Right click on the instance name, choose new query. So a session will be opened here. This is called query window. This is called query window, or what is this, guys? This is called query window or session. So you can write a query called SELECT select @ version of the SQL Server, select @ version if you write, and this is our query to find out the version of the SQL Server. Why? Because you cannot see the version in the name and you cannot see in the instance properties also. So one way is you can identify using bill number. That is one way. Second method is you can use this query called select @ version, guys. Okay. And if you execute, this is the execute button. Again, there is a separate class on SSMS, guys. Nothing to worry. Just to show you, I am doing this. So before executing, generally we are going to parse it and we are going to check whether the query is right or wrong. So we can just parse it using this button. So command completed successfully means query is correct only. So if you execute, if you click on execute, then you can see the version of the SQL Server. See, this is called your output pane. Okay, what is this, guys? Output pane. Okay, output pane. Okay, so this is called your output pane. So when you run any query, you can see the output here. It is clearly showing Microsoft SQL Server 2019, which is going to start with 15.0. So mainly you have to remember three things, guys. One is SQL Server versions you have to remember. Second one is build numbers you have to remember, very important. Third one is Windows Server versions you have to remember. These three are very important, guys. Very basics, very important. Okay, why? Because you should be able to identify the version of the SQL Server. You should be able to identify the build number. You should be able to identify the Windows Server versions. You should be able to identify the compatibilities and all, guys, like on which Windows servers I can install SQL servers. Okay, these 4 points are very important, guys, very basic level points. Okay, so in the next class, I hope there is no class today in the evening as discussed yesterday. So we'll discuss again at the end of the classes. Okay, so in the next class, like coming Saturday, I'll ask you questions on all these things, guys. SQL Server versions, build numbers, Windows Server versions. Okay, so on all these things, I'll ask you the questions. In case, guys, I'll give you assignments also, like as discussed. In case if you tell wrong answer, I'll give you punishment also. Okay, so there is a punishment system also. Punishment is nothing but you have to write down for 5 times, 10 times on a paper and you have to send it to me. So why? Because these are very basic points, guys. Still people are going into the organizations without knowing these things also. If you don't know how to connect to the server, if you don't know how to identify the server version, if you don't know what and all SQL Server versions are there, and you are keeping 4 years experience, 5 years experience, how can you justify? Seriously, guys, I know a lot of people, those who don't know all these basics, and that is their first day in the office, and the same day is the last day in the office, guys. They can easily identify by just how we are talking, what words, in what way you are talking. They can easily identify whether we are fake or genuine or not. But even though they identify, 90% is they'll try to give you an opportunity, guys, to learn. Okay, but people, what they are going to do, like they cannot, they don't do hard work, right? Simply they are getting 80,000, 90,000 per month. See how we are struggling to get a job, to get an opportunity. But people without knowing these things also, they are surviving since 6 months. I'm not saying you don't know, you don't learn and go and attend the interviews and all. You should learn these things, guys. Otherwise, no one can save you. No one can save you. Very basic points, and also that's why I'm going to stress on SQL Server versions, on build numbers, on Windows Server versions. So all are very important, guys. All are very important. So in the next class, I'll ask you on these things. I'll ask you questions and also make sure, okay, you just have to remember, okay, you have to like by heart or whatever you are trying to do. You can do, guys, whatever you can do, you can do. But again, you have to remember all these three things. Those are very important, guys. Okay. So any questions, any doubts on the bill numbers, guys?
Yeah, hi Shanmukh, Ranjana.
Yeah, Ranjana.
Actually, still I am having what is bill number? Why?
See,
Because we already have version. Then why we cannot give version number itself in the server name?
see, that's how
Like,
generally Microsoft is designed. Okay, so they can start giving the version number. Okay, so you are correct. So Shanmukh, instead of these things, they can simply add SQL Server 2019, right? So why
yeah,
they just gave like this? So as I told you, this is like this contains 4 parts, right? So first part is your bill number. actual, major version. Second part is your minor version. Third part is your actual bill number, and fourth part is your revision history. So we just discussed about these two parts only, major and minor. So let's discuss about these two parts also. Okay. So these two parts will help you whether your SQL Server is patched or not. Okay. Whether any updates are applied or not on your SQL Server, these two parts will tell you guys. Okay. These two parts will tell you whether any updates are applied on the SQL Server or not. Okay. Guys, just give me 2 minutes. Let me wish my daughter. Okay. I'll be back in 2 minutes, please. Thank you, guys. I'm back. Sorry for the break. Okay, right. So, what is the use of this build number, guys? First two parts will help us to identify the version. Okay. Second two parts will help us to identify whether the SQL server is patched or not. Okay. So let me show you with an example. Yesterday we used one website, right? SQL server builds.blogspot.com. Okay. So if I open this, okay, we have different types of updates are there. We'll discuss all these things in the patching class. How many types of updates are there? What is service pack? What is cumulative update? What is major update? What is minor update? What is hotfix? All these things will be discussed in the patching classes. So now if you see here for SQL Server 2019, okay, when you will discuss about this, what is RTM and all. Okay, so we have different types of updates are there for SQL Server 2019. So 2019, we have different types of updates are there like a CU21. If I click on SQL Server 2019, you can see all the updates, guys. You can see all the updates. If you install the base version, RTM is nothing but the base version, guys. RTM is nothing but the base version. If you install SQL Server 2019 base version, you will get, okay, what you will get, guys? You will get 15.0.2000.5 you will get, guys. Okay. So if you patch that SQL Server 2019 RTM with a CU1, again, this is kind of one update. Okay, GDR update is there. So the build number, the third part and fourth part is going to be changed. Okay, when you patch the SQL Server with any update, the third part and fourth part is going to change. No need to remember all these numbers, guys. Just try to remember these numbers only. Major and minor is enough. Okay, so no need to remember why, because lot of numbers are there. So when you again patch the SQL Server, again the number will be changed, guys, and again the number will be changed. Like that, whenever you are applying any updates, third part and fourth part is going to be changed. To represent this in the instance name, they are not introducing SQL Server 2019 or 2017 in the name. Overall, like we want to represent the version of the SQL Server. We want to represent whether SQL Server is patched or not. So to keep in mind all these things, what Windows team, what Microsoft is suggested, they just added this build number concept in the instance name. So that's why, see, for example, as per your like what you're saying, you're saying, right, as per your idea, why don't we include 2019 in the instance name? But if we include only 2019, again we have to include whether SQL Server is patched or not. So the instance name will become big, right? So that's why to easily identify, they just came up with a solution called your bill number, guys. So bill number is a solution. They want to represent a SQL Server version, and they want to represent whether SQL Server is patched or not. So they want to represent both. So to overcome these things, they just introduce this bill number format. So that's why bill number is there instead of direct SQL Server version, the instance name, guys. Is this clear now? Why bill number we have?
So SQL Server patched means?
It will, see, not only patch, again, it will contains the major and minor version, and then it also contains the patch information. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, what is the difference between major version and minor version?
Nothing. See, here we don't have minor version. See, in 2008 R2, only one minor version is released till now. Means, for example, they introduced SQL Server 2008 R2. Later, they came to know like they want to introduce extra features and all again. Okay. They released immediately on the same year. They released one more version. So that is called a minor version. Okay. For remaining all the things, you don't see any minor versions, guys. Okay. So only SQL Server 2008 R2 minor version is 10.50. Major version.
Sir, and
Yeah. Yes, please.
active bill number means that is the starting version of SQL Server.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
And that last one is?
Revision history.
Yeah.
Revision
What is the
history.
meaning of that?
So the same patch level. Okay. It is going to help you out with the patch level. The third part and fourth part will help you for the patching, like whether SQL Server is patched or not, whether any patch is applied or not. So those two parts will take care of the patch.
Okay.
Yeah. So is
Sir,
this clear?
can we apply directly base patch to latest
We'll
patch?
discuss this in the patching class. Again, it
Okay.
will be deviated, okay? So yes, we can do that. The answer is yes, we can do that, but everything will be discussed in the patching class. We
Okay.
have 2 classes for patching dedicatedly. So we'll discuss patching precautions, okay, how to download a patch, how to apply, challenges, how to remove the patch. Okay, all these things will be discussed in the patching class. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, is this clear about the bill number, everyone? Bill number. Bill number format generally will have 4 parts in the bill number: major version dot, minor version dot, actual bill number dot, revision history. So major version, minor version will help you to find out the version of SQL Server. Actual bill number and revision history will help you whether the SQL Server is patched or not. Okay. Guys, any questions, please? Any other questions here? Any other questions here, guys? No questions. Are we good? Tell me, guys, is that okay? Fine. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So let's discuss about these terminologies also. Initially, we'll have little theory will be there, guys. You should know all the history, right? So later, I guess in the next class onwards, we'll start the demo. So don't worry about these things. You should know all these basics first. Directly creating a VM, what is VM also, if we don't know, it will create a lot of problems. So nothing to worry, we'll discuss everything. So let's discuss these 3 terminologies. What is CTP? What is RC? What is RTM? Okay. CTP, guys, Community Technology Preview. Okay. CTP is nothing but Community Technology Preview. So yesterday we discussed, right? If SQL Server wants to introduce any new version, it don't directly release it to the market, guys. Okay. It don't directly release it to the public. So I told you, right, we'll have like corona vaccination example also we discussed. Okay. So in case if anyone wants to like introduce a new vaccination, first of all, they are going to do some tests, right? So they will test it. They will test it on rats. They will test it on animals. They will test it on monkeys. They will test it on some group of people. They will test it based on the age group. Like this, they'll do all the tests. They will correct it. They will collect the information. They will change in case of anything required. In case of any side effects are there, they are going to change the compositions. They are going to change the formulas. Everything they will change, and finally the refined copy they are going to release it to the public, right? In the same way, if SQL Server wants to release a new version, imagine 2022 is the new version, right? So imagine they want to introduce SQL Server 2025. Not sure whether they are going to release or not, but I'm just guessing. So imagine they want to introduce SQL Server 2025. So if they want to introduce SQL Server 2025, again, they don't start working in the year of 2025, guys. 2-3 years before itself, they will start working. They will collect all the features. They'll compare all the databases. They will see whatever good features are there. For the competition, they are going to add extra features and all. So when they're trying to introduce 2025, initially, they don't introduce the final copy or the refined copy to the public, guys. First, they'll release a test copy to the community people. Microsoft community will be there. Anyone can join with the Microsoft community. If Microsoft wants to introduce any new product, first it will release to its community people. So as a community, you are a kind of early bird access, guys. You will get access to the software. When compared to others, as a community member, you'll get access to the new version early. So you can download 2025. You can install the 2025 in your local laptop. You can test it. You can see what and all new features are there, how they are working. You can report to Microsoft in case of any bugs and all. Okay, what is meant by bug, guys? What is bug? What is bug?
Error.
Malfunction.
Is bug or error both are same?
Malfunction.
Yes. Okay, so bug is nothing but the malfunction or the faulty behavior of the application. or the application is not working as expected, or the software is not working as expected, that is called bug. Bug is different, error is different, guys. Okay, so bug sometimes, why? Because we cannot design 100% perfect solution, guys. They are also human beings. Maybe 50 or 100 engineers will work on the new product. They can thought in 100 ways or 1,000 ways. But when it comes to the public, millions of people are going to download and they are going to try as per their requirements. So millions of brains will think in millions of ways. So they might test like anything, the new features, and also some features may not work as expected. The faulty behavior, the malfunction of the software is called a bug. So for any software, bugs are common, guys. Very common. That's not an issue. Why? Because as I told you, they can try in 100 ways or 1,000 ways. They cannot try 1 million ways or 2 million ways. But when you install the same software, when everyone is installed the same software, if 1 million people install the same software, 1 million people can try in 1 million ways. So there might be a chance that 1 or 2 bugs can be there. Okay, so in every new product, generally bugs will be there. So what Microsoft will do, first it will release it to the community people to test the new version of SQL Server, and it will accept all the bugs from the users. It will check whether it can fix the bugs or not. So it will try to fix all the bugs, guys. And then again, it is going to release one more copy, the second copy, to the community people, that is called released candidate, RC. RC is the released candidate, guys. This is the second test copy of a SQL Server. Whatever bugs, first it will release CTP copy, guys. Imagine I'm just giving an example, SQL Server 2025, imagine. So first it will release SQL Server 2025 CTP copy to the community people. Community people will download it and they will install it, they will work with it, they will find the bugs, they will find any other issues and all. They are going to report to the Microsoft, hey, this is not good, hey, this is not working as expected, hey, this, that. Like that, they are going to give you reviews and all, give the reviews and all to the Microsoft, and they are going to report to the Microsoft in case of any bugs. Then Microsoft will concentrate on all the bugs and it will fix the bugs, most of the bugs. And then again, it will release. After fixing the bugs, again, the software will be refined, right? So the second copy, test copy will be released again. That is called release to candidate, release candidate. So this is also a test copy, guys. This is also a test copy. Still any bugs are there, we can test it. After fixing the bugs, again, there might be a chance that we might get extra bugs, some other new bugs, right? So again, they will release the second test copy to the community people. The second test copy, the first test copy is called CTP. The second test copy is called RC, release candidate. So again, they are going to verify, again going to review the bugs and all. Again, they are going to get all the reports from the users in case of any other challenges are there after that also. In case if they want to change anything and all, as per the user suggestions and all. Finally, they will change all the things. They will try to fix all the bugs as much as they can. And finally, they are going to release a refined product, which is RTM product. Which is RTM product, guys. RTM is nothing but release it to market, which is a paid version. These two are free, guys. But again, there is a problem. You cannot install these two on the production environment. Any free versions you can install, you cannot install it on the production environment, guys. Is this clear, guys, everyone? Any free versions you cannot install it on the production environments. It is illegal. As I told you, Microsoft auditing will be there regularly. So if they find that if you are using a free versions on the production environment, they are going to, okay, they will take a legal action, or they are going to apply some penalties. These kind of challenges and all will be there, guys. So generally, free softwares we cannot use it on the production servers, guys. You have to go for a paid softwares only. So after fixing all these things in these two copies, finally, they will release a refined copy called RTM. So that's why when you see here, when you execute this query, you can see SQL Server 2019 RTM released to market. This is a legal copy to install on the Windows servers. So the base copy, the base version of any SQL server is called your RTM copy, guys. RTM is a copy. Okay, that is a base version, guys. Okay, SQL Server 2019 RTM, 2017 RTM, 2016 RTM, 2022 RTM. So initially in the organization, you will install RTM copy. Later, based on the requirements, you will apply some updates on the RTM. So can we use on Dev QA and UAT environment? Yes, Jobby, you can use it. We can use the not CTP RC, but we have different editions. We'll tell you that is the next topic. So in the we have developer edition, you can use it on the other environments. Okay, right? So guys, is this clear?
Sir, can we install this two version in our personal laptop?
Can we install?
Previous two version like RC and
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
how to identify which one is RTM, which one is
You can
RC?
see again. You can go with this SQL Server builds.blogspot.com. There you can see. Okay, you can see RC. If any RC is there, they are going to release RC and all. And then see, this is the RTM copy. So generally, if you don't find here means, let me check whether we can RC. No, it's not. Okay, let me.
In the down, we can see.
Yeah. We can see RC and RC. This is for Linux. RC1, RC2. Again, we have see CTP1, CTP2, CTP3,
Sir,
CTP1.
how can I download this one?
You can click on this. Here, you cannot download directly from this. You have to go to Microsoft website and you can do that. But
Yeah, in
no need
Microsoft
of
website,
see.
how to find which one is RTM?
There
which
is
one is-
no. They'll clearly mention in the brackets CTP and all. Okay, CTP, RC and all. So first of all, there is no use of downloading these things and all. We have a developer edition. You can download developer edition, that is for free. All features will work in the developer edition and you can work with that. Okay. So you should know what is RTM and all. So that's why we discuss other terminologies also. Okay. But you can
in developer edition, we can find the RC and RTM.
developer edition, I don't think we can find again RC, RT. See, direct edition itself is going to give you for free. So why again you need a CTP, RC, RTP, RTM and all. So development completely it was free, and that too, again CTP and all you can download it from the community, Microsoft community. For that you have to join in the Microsoft community and then you can start downloading RC,
Sir,
CTP.
anyone join in Microsoft community?
And as of now, no one is there. I'll check and I'll update you. Okay, how to connect with the Microsoft community, how to join the Microsoft community. I'll update you. It's just normal registration only.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, is this clear? CTP, RC, RTM. Everyone, is this clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So generally we'll use RTM only. We are not going to touch CTP, okay, RC and all in the organization. We are not going to test anything. Okay. So 99 not 99, 100% we'll use RTM only. Okay. No one will ask you, please install CTP copy, please install RC copy on this servers, that servers. No. In case if you need any for testing purpose and all, we have different editions like Express edition is there, which is very completely free. We have evaluation edition is there. I'll tell you what is edition and all. We have developer edition is there. Okay, so we can use these editions and all, but generally we don't involve in CTP and RC testing and all. So that is also like normal only, but you have to join as a community member. From there you can download. Okay, right.
Sir, if a task is given in my organization to install SQL Server 2019 in production environment, then it will be RTM.
Yeah, it should be RTM only.
Okay.
You will start
I have
installing
to
with
find
RTM
it or
only.
they will give me?
No. See, we will have a software dump. Okay, we'll have shared path and all. In the shared path, for every version, we will have softwares. Okay, no need to find out, no need to download by your own. Okay, they are going to download the licensed copy and they are going to keep it in the shared folder, and we can use that one. I'll tell you during installation about this process, how it will work and all. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
So can we install RC version on QA server in our organization?
No, first of all, we don't install in the organizational servers. This is only for personal testing purpose. We
Okay.
don't install, we don't use RC, CTP in the QA, dev testing. No, for that we have extra other copies. See, initially these are kind of early bird guys. I told you, right? So if you want to see the features, what and all features they are introducing in 2017, 2019, only to test the features, bugs and all. But in the organization, we'll know where use RC, CTP and all to install. We'll directly install either developer edition. Based on the environment, we'll install enterprise edition or standard edition and all. Okay. So we don't use at all these things. Just to understand, just to identify, we are just discussing about RC. So it's directly, if I tell RTM, what is RTM, Shanmukh, if you ask me? That's why, right? So we'll generally install RTM only. Shanmukh, what is this RTM? So you should know the background information, right? So that's why we discussed about RC and CTP. Okay, guys, any other questions, please? Yeah, fine. So there is no break today. I'll continue. Why? Because I said right today. There is my daughter's birthday, my kid birthday is there. So I'll continue for next 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'll leave you guys. Okay, so we'll leave the class early. Okay, so is that fine, guys, for all of you? Is that okay? Only for this weekend, okay? So nothing to worry about the next weekend and all, no issues. Okay.
Yes, it's fine.
Fine, right? Thank you. Right. Fine. So next, let me go to this document. Okay, so we discussed the bill number and all, CTP. Okay, fine. So let's discuss about the additions of the SQL servers and components of the SQL servers. Okay, so in the next class, we'll start creating VMs and all. Okay, right. Sorry. So addition, what is meant by addition, guys? Addition. What is an addition? How many types of additions are there? We have versions, we discussed versions till now. What is this addition?
Certain editions support certain features, such as enterprise edition may support like a DR, high availability.
Okay.
Edition may be only we can install on standalone machine.
Okay. Okay. Right. So addition is nothing but limitations to the existing features, guys. Okay. You're almost correct, Jobby. So limitations to the existing features. Addition is nothing but limitations to the existing features, guys. So for example, I hope everyone knows about this matrimony sites and all, right? Generally, if you go to matrimony site, okay, say for example, let me show you this. Okay, let me show you this example instead of matrimony. So what I'll do, let's go with this Zoom. I'm using Zoom application, right? Zoom pricing. Okay. I'm going to explain you with the Zoom pricing. So if you see here, I can see there are different models, guys. I have a free model, a basic model, which is completely free. And I have a pro model. Okay. So you have to pay this much amount every year per user. I have a business model and you have to pay this much amount every year. I have a business plus model. Again, lot of features. So if you see, and I have enterprise. Guys, can you? I guess the screen sharing was stopped. Okay. Guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Where it was disconnected exactly? Where it was disconnected? Yeah. Guys, can you hear me? Venkat, can you hear me now?
Basic price.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Fine. Right. Okay. So these are the editions, guys. These are the different editions. We have free edition, we have pro edition, we have business edition, we have business plus edition, we have enterprise edition. Like these are the different editions. So just now we discussed it, right? Edition is nothing but a limitations to the existing features. Edition is nothing but limitations to the existing features. If you go with the free model, free edition, you can see meetings are up to 40 minutes. Every meeting, you can take up to 40 minutes, guys. You cannot extend more than 40 minutes. If once 40 minutes is completed, automatically meeting will be closed. Automatically Zoom meeting. Now we are discussing, right, the Zoom platform. Automatically, after 40 minutes, immediately the application will be closed. And only 100 attendees can attend, guys. Whiteboard basic features you'll get it. Team chart you'll get it. Mail and calendar you'll get it. Only these 5 features you'll get it for free. Only these 5 features you'll get it for free. But if you go to Pro model, you will get a meeting, every meeting up to 30 hours. Here it is only 40 minutes, one single meeting up to 40 hours, 40 minutes, sorry. But here in the Pro model, if you pay extra, here it is free completely. If you pay some extra money, 13,000 money, so you will get all these features. But the same features has been limited in this free offer, right? Free edition, right? If you pay little extra, again you will get extra features. What are the extra features you will get it? You will get it something like apart from this, extra SSOC, extras SSOs, managed domains and more. You will get this feature if you pay little extra. If you pay little more extra, you'll get all these features: phone, translated captions, workspace reservation. So when you are going to next level, the features are adding, guys. It is adding the features so that your money is also, you have to pay extra money here. So here you can see only cloud storage 5 GB. You can see cloud storage 10 GB. If you go to enterprise, unlimited cloud storage will be there. So in each edition, features will be there, but there will be limitations to the existing features, guys. So addition is nothing but limitations to the existing features. Addition is nothing but limitations to the existing features in the software is called addition, guys. So we have Express edition. We have different editions in SQL Server, guys. Okay. We have Express edition, which is completely free. As I told you, like this, if it is free, what is the challenge, guys? Up to 40 minutes only you can take a meeting. Okay. There is no cloud storage feature. You cannot store the recordings in the cloud. So these are all limitations, guys. If you go with the free, in the same way, we have free edition in the SQL Server, that is Express edition, which is completely free. Again, what is the limitation, guys? We cannot install free editions on the production servers. We cannot install that. We cannot install free editions on the production servers, guys. Okay, so the next edition is evaluation edition, guys. And that too, there is a lot of problems also there with the Express edition. What are the other problems? Like the maximum database size is 10 GB only. The max database size is 10 GB only. You cannot go beyond 10 GB. Even though that is a free edition, the max database size it will support is 10 GB, guys. If you go to evaluation edition, this is free for 180 days. Free edition also. This is also free edition, but it is only free for 180 days. After that, it will be expired. You cannot use it. And developer edition, we have different editions like Express edition, developer edition, compact edition, web edition. Okay. Say developer edition. Mostly these are the main editions, guys. In the organization, you will use these editions only. We don't use compact, web, data center editions and all. So mostly we'll use only these editions only. Okay. Express evaluation, earlier we used it to use for different versions. From 2017 onwards, actually, up to SQL Server 2017, you have to pay money for developer edition also. Up to SQL Server 2017, you have to pay money. Means up to SQL Server 2016. Up to SQL Server 2016, you have to pay money for developer edition also. But from 2017 onwards, developer edition also becomes free. Okay, developer edition is free. All features will work like an enterprise edition only. All features will work like enterprise edition only, but as it is free, we cannot install it on the production servers, guys. We cannot install, even though it's free, we cannot install on the production servers. But it's a very big decision by Microsoft, guys. Why? Because it's almost going to lose 30% of the revenue across the globe. Why? Because we'll have servers, right? We'll have hundreds of servers, thousands of servers. So in the organization, at least 20-30% non-prod servers will be there. At least minimum 20-30% non-prod servers will be there. So up to 2016, they used it to use developer edition and they used it to pay money for the developer edition up to SQL Server 2016. From 2017 onwards, when the developer edition is completely free, so most of the companies are migrated to 2017, guys. If lower environment is migrated to 2017, definitely other environments like production environments also should be migrated, right? So I cannot keep my lower environment in the 2017 and production environment in the 2016, right? How can you test it? There is a different version, right? So you want to test in 2017 means you can test in 2017 across all the environments, dev, test, QA, UAT, and production and all. So, but it's a very big decision by Microsoft. Almost every company is saved almost to 20 to 30% of licensing cost. Why? Because as I told you, we ourselves, okay, I told you, right, ours is very big environment. Ours is very big environment. Around 7,500 servers we are managing. In that, imagine 20 to 30% is, okay, non-prod servers are there, or minimum 30% non-prod servers are there. So imagine how much money we saved. Means around 2,000 instances we migrated, I remember. 2,000 instances we migrated to 2017. I remember. 2,000 instances means each instance, how much you have to pay. 2,000 instances means how much you are saving. Millions of dollars we saved, guys, in the year of 2017 to 2019. In terms of SQL Server softwares, millions of dollars we saved. Okay, so developer edition is completely free from SQL Server 2017 onwards. So all the features will work. And again, we have standard edition, we have enterprise edition. So if you ask me what is the difference between these editions and all, again, features will be there, but in terms of hardware capacity, okay, in terms of hardware capacity, in terms of storage capacity, okay, in terms of CPU cores, there is a difference, guys. Okay, in terms of CPU cores and all, there is a difference. So let me show you difference between SQL Server Developer Edition, Standard Edition. Okay, so you can see here, not this one, Microsoft website will be there. Yeah, there is a table, guys, and the table you can see. No. Anyone? Yeah, you can see here, guys. Okay, right, you can see. So enterprise edition, standard edition, web edition, express with advanced services, express and all. So here it was not mentioned. Developer edition is not mentioned. Okay. Yeah, you can see here, guys. Okay. So you can see here, like if you go to enterprise edition, so how much maximum RAM it will support, guys? Maximum to the operating system. How much operating system will support, that much RAM you can support. But if you go to standard edition, okay, what is the limitation? Limited to or lesser of 4 sockets. Like we have sockets, right? RAM sockets and all. And like you can see here, okay, you can see 128 GB of RAM and 32 GB of RAM. Like different components we have. Web edition, again, we have 64 GB of RAM. And like this, you can see major differences will be, features will be there, but in terms of hardware utilization, like in terms of CPU cores, in terms of memory, in terms of storage, generally there is a limitations between your enterprise edition, standard edition, and developer edition, guys. So no need to remember how much RAM it will support in the enterprise, how much RAM will support in the standard. So all features will work in these 3 editions. But the challenges are like in terms of hardware limitations, like RAM, CPU, and storage. So in the enterprise, it's kind of unlimited. If you see the Zoom pricing, and all, if you go with complete enterprise edition, so all features will be there. Right? All features will be there. You can see all features are there. Whatever features included in all these 4 editions, so all the features you can see in the enterprise edition. In the same way, enterprise generally it's the highest edition, guys. Enterprise edition is the highest edition in the SQL Server. So enterprise means it depends upon the maximum operating system utilization, depends upon the maximum operating system capacity. But whereas if you go to standard edition and all, if you go to some developer edition, if you go to some express edition and all, there you might face some challenges in terms of hardware utilization, in terms of memory, in terms of RAM, and in terms of your storage and CPU cores, guys. These are the main differences between the developer standard and enterprise edition, guys. In the organization, why just marked as star mark here, organization. So in the organization, in the production servers, mostly will use either standard or enterprise edition. You can install standard or enterprise edition on the production servers. So it depends upon your requirement. Either will choose standard edition or will choose enterprise edition, guys. On non-prod environment, we'll use developer edition only. Why? Because it was completely free from 2017 onwards. So either you use 2017 or you use 2019 or you use 2022, completely developer edition is free. So you can install it on your non-prod servers. But from but whereas on the production servers, definitely you have to either use standard edition or you have to use enterprise edition. So that is all about your editions, guys. Okay. So where we can see the edition in the SQL server, where we can find the edition of the SQL server. Any idea where we can find the edition? If you go to the instance properties, you can see the edition here. Okay. If you go to instance properties, you can see the edition here, which is SQL Server Developer Edition. This is one way. Second way is if you run the same command, again, I'll ask you in the next class, guys, remember this command. If you run the same command and if you keep your cursor here, you will get the cursor like this, a double line cursor, you'll get it. Double click here. You can see here Developer Edition in the output. Okay. So there is no separate query selected at edition. There is no such query to find out the edition of the SQL server. You can use selected at version in that output itself. If you expand, you can see the developer edition here. So this is your SQL server 2019 developer edition, guys. Okay. So this is how we can identify the edition of the SQL server, guys. Any questions here, please? So 1 minute. Also, we can use print at the rate version. Yeah, no. Print at the rate version. No? Yeah. Thank you, Anup. So this is also one query, guys. So you can use this information like this in the text format. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Any questions? Any doubts? Right. So we have components of the SQL server. We'll discuss these components in the next class. Okay. Once this is done, so we'll discuss forget about SQL Server 2005. This is the old document. So we'll discuss about 2019 installation. So the installation process is same across the versions, guys. So we'll practice with the 2019 and the 2022. Initially, I'll install SQL Server 2019. Later in the coming classes, I'll show you how to upgrade 2019 to 2022. So first I'll start with the 2019 installation onwards. Before that, as discussed, we are not going to install SQL Server in the local laptops. So we are going to create a virtual environment. So we'll use Oracle Virtual Box for our practice. So in the next class, I'll show you what is Oracle Virtual Box, what is physical machine, what is virtual machine, what and all softwares we are going to use to configure virtual machines. Okay, VMs and all. Okay, how the VM technology will work. Okay, so using, I guess in the last class, we have already discussed draw.io, and open an existing diagram. Okay, and we patch 50 diagram. So I'll explain you like this, guys. What is virtualization? What is meant by virtual machine? See here, right? So this is like a virtual machine concept and all. So how this will work and all, everything we'll discuss, and we are going to explain like what is this VM. This is the VM software. Using the physical resources, we can create, using the virtual machine software, we can create virtual machines, guys. There are two types of machines. physical machines are bare metal, okay, BM, PM or BM, bare metals. So based on that, we can nowadays no one is using physical machines and all, everyone is using virtual machines only. So what is virtual machine? How to create a virtual machine? What and all softwares will use to create virtual machines? So I'll explain everything with the diagrams and all, guys. Okay. So all these things. So demo part will start from the next class. So there is no class in the evening today, as discussed. Today my daughter's birthday is there. So hardly I got this window from my wife. She approved it to take the class for today morning. And again, I don't like to give breaks and all, okay? So which will disturb us. So I don't like to give the break. So next week onwards, it will continue, guys. Okay. Mostly 99% is on time without any breaks. It will continue. Okay. Next class coming Saturday morning 7 a.m. IST for India. Yes, yes.
Same link we have to join.
Same link, but again, guys, okay, you have to register. Done. Free classes are completed. Okay, so this link won't work from next class onwards. Again, guys, this link won't work from next class onwards. So free classes are already completed. I promised 2 free classes, but this is third free class. Okay, so free classes are completed. So by next weekend, I mean not by weekend. Okay, so don't confirm me in the last minute. You have to complete some formalities. So by Monday, okay, plan it, guys. By Monday, you have to confirm for me so that we'll complete the other formalities and all. Okay, I'm going to share you the softwares so that you can start practicing with me. So I'll share you the softwares. I'll share you the notes. Okay. So try to, okay, what I can say, confirm me by Monday. Okay. You can confirm immediately after the class. Also, you can send a message, WhatsApp message to me. If anyone don't have my number, take my number. This is my number, 9902590140. And again, just give me a minute. Let me post this. Okay. What we can say, the form. Okay. The form, guys. Just a minute. Just a minute, guys. We'll disconnect. Just give me 2 minutes. This is docs.google.com and the forms.google.com.
What will be the registration process?
I'll tell you. Just ping me in the WhatsApp. Okay. I hope you have my number, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Just ping me in the WhatsApp. I'll update you what the registration process and all. Okay. And yes, here, let me share this link with you guys. Okay, so just this is again, okay, the contact information. Yesterday you filled right, some of you filled right. So just complete this form, okay, so that please update me, okay, by today or like by tomorrow. If you update me, then we'll complete on. I'm sorry, let me share it in the group chat, meeting chat. So this is your, okay, link to complete the process, guys. Please include your mobile number. Please include your email ID so that you will start getting the video recordings. And one more thing is I have already created a playlist in the YouTube channel. So go to YouTube, guys. So youtube.com and here go to SOSE University. Okay. So go to SOS University.
Are you sharing something?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So go to YouTube, guys. Yeah, you can see now. Yeah, go to YouTube, just type SOS University. Just go to the second one and go to playlist. And you can see batch 51 is already created. It will be live in an hour. It's already created, guys. I guess the video is scheduled for 10 o'clock today. 10 a.m. IST today it was scheduled. So 10 a.m. By 10 a.m. you can see a playlist called SQL DBA batch 51. Okay. And then you can see here SQL DBA batch 51 I have created. Okay. Playlist. The SQL DBA batch 51, you can see the playlist here. It will be live by today 10 a.m. Okay, so you can just watch the recordings. Yesterday we have completed 2 classes, right? Those 2 classes are already uploaded. So you will get, guys, again, please subscribe to our channel. Why? Because whenever I upload any video, no need to wait for my mail or message. Directly you will get a notification once I uploaded the video. Just subscribe to our channel. Okay. And then is like if you feel that it is taking time, just go through batch 50 videos. Same concept is there. Batch 50 video, class 1, class 2 also you can watch it. No need to wait until they are online or until they are live. You can watch batch 50 also. Same concept. Everything is same. Okay. So this is how it will work, guys. We'll connect on coming Saturday morning 7 a.m. IST with the new meeting link. Okay, those who confirmed, I'll share the new meeting link for them, guys. Those who confirmed, I'll share the new meeting link for them in the WhatsApp chat. And then
Shanmugh, can I sign off?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Convey my wishes to your daughter.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. Okay. And one more thing is like what other thing? Yeah. For US people, it will be next coming Friday evening, 9:30 p.m. Okay, EST. Friday evening, 9:30 p.m. EST. We'll again connect and we'll discuss these things, guys. Okay. Chalo, anything, any suggestions, anything you want to discuss, please, no problem. So if you feel any suggestions that you can give, just you can give the suggestions. We'll mark it and we'll try to implement those suggestions and all, guys. So any suggestions, please? The classes are going too fast or too slow or too basic, anything you can tell me.
Shamukh, next class is on Saturday morning, no?
Correct. IST. For Indians, it will be Saturday morning. For US, it will be Friday.
Classes are going good only. We are able to understand everything. Only my concern is certification. You will be helping in certifications also right now, because that is most important for.
See, the thing is, let me stop recording. See, I'll tell you very open.